As you could see by that sneak peek little bit of a video, we are transforming a house today, but it's not just anybody's house. It is the one and only Jeracraft's house. Let's turn around and show this real quick. I hope you guys do enjoy this video today. If you do, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for those of you who are new. This is UMaster238, and I usually do building tutorials and that sort of thing, but Jeracraft in his last video said anyone who wanted to could transform this old house of his, and I thought it would be a fun challenge, which it most definitely was a very challenging thing to do, but it was so much fun. And Jeracraft, if you are watching this video, my man, I really hope you do enjoy it. I will say I'm not the greatest builder, but I tried my best to do it well. So, and you've seen one of my past videos too, my Jumbo house videos. So I hope you enjoy this video as much as you did the last one. But with that said, let's actually jump into the video and start building. So the very first thing I did when transforming this house, well, obviously you can see is I put it in a different biome, and the reason behind that was just aesthetic wise. I just wanted to look very pretty in the biomes around it, and it updated biomes too. But the very first thing I did was I just began to observe it. You know, I kind of circled it, and I would circle it many times while thinking, okay, what can I do to improve? What blocks did Jeracraft not have that I can now use to kind of upgrade it and transform it a little bit? And one thing you'll notice when we go into this time lapse in just 1 second is that I tried to keep a lot of the similar shapes and stuff, but I did transform some bigger things, such as like the roof or the tower over there. There's gonna be huge transformations there, even this little patio, and I did remove some items, replace them, but I definitely tried to keep the general shape of the build. That was one of my most important things, was I wanted it to look very similar, and you could look at it and be like, oh yeah, that's this build, just a little bit newer, just a little bit more different, with a little bit of UMaster238 style built into it. So what I did from there was I kind of just jumped into it, which we're about to jump into this time lapse, and you'll be able to see I make a few mistakes, spend some time on some spots, struggling, trying to figure out what I'm gonna do, and then it all turns out pretty good. So with that said, let's jump into this like 3-minute, I think, time lapse. It's a little lengthy, but it's a good one, and you guys can see what my thoughts were, when I built this, and how I started to transform it. Wow. Now I will admit, those 3 minutes you saw, that took me about 3 hours to transform, but oh my goodness, guys. I think I really like how this turned out. You can definitely tell it's still the same video, which we will show some before and after pictures in just one moment, but just looking around it, you guys can see it turned out really pretty, and I love this build so much more. Well, I say that, and Jeracraft, if you're watching, I don't want to offend you or anything. I really liked your build too, but I love the dark texture. I usually build in this kind of dark oak, spruce plank kind of palette, and I just love the very dark theme. The thing I did after that too, before we move on to the before and after pictures, is on the inside, I gutted out the entire thing. I did leave some spruce logs, and eventually I'll show you what I did for the interior, which that took me a very long time too. But you can see I just completely gutted out this entire house, and doing the interior was definitely tricky because it's a very odd shape, but I think the interior turned out pretty good too, which I'll show you guys in just a second. But I do want to show you some before and after pictures as well, and yeah, so let's just show you guys some of those things, because those turned out it's just a cool comparison. With the before and after pictures now done displaying perfectly what I meant before by how it's the same kind of build, you just updated and different all the same. It's interesting how it happened. It's just transformed, I guess you could say. It's definitely a transformed build. But with that nicely summed up, I thought it was a good idea to go ahead and do the interior. And unfortunately, I'm not actually going to do the before and after interior pictures just because Jeracraft's and my own were so vastly different. Same rooms possibly, but just completely different design elements in and of itself. So I decided I'll just go ahead and show you guys interior, what I did, and I hope you guys like it. Oh, one last thing before we do it, check it out, is world download links for either world will be in the description. So if you guys want to check them out, I will have the links down below so you guys can check them out, download them. And I highly recommend checking out Jeracraft and subscribing to him. And if you're watching my man, I really hope you do like this interior and this whole video. I put so much effort into it, and I think it turned out really fun and cool. With that said, let's go ahead and start exploring the interior. So when you very first walk in, the very first thing you're greeted by is this nice staircase. We'll go up that in just a little bit. If we turn over to the left though, we've got kind of a kitchen area plus a library area. Since it was a bit smaller on this floor, I wanted things to seem a bit more, I guess, homey and cozy by adding a lot of different elements to this one room. Over here you can see we got, using these banners, some nice dining room chairs, and with a little bit of a candle using the turtle egg, I thought that was a neat little trick. We can have a nice dining room table, some furnaces for cooking up your food, and then over here we've got a bar too. You know, you can put some bottles in here, make it look like you got some brewing stands or something like that. But we got a little library here too, as well as a lectern where you can read and do your studying after you're done finishing a great meal. Over in this room, kind of hidden in this corner, is actually a farming area, which the time-lapse didn't capture properly, but I did update this farm just a little bit. I added some new crops and I bone mealed them all because the other crops weren't actually fully grown. But over here, you can see this is a composting area. You got a bunch of barrels for more storage and that sort of stuff. And I just realized there's sea pickles in my inventory for some reason. But yeah, it's a cool little storage area. You know, you got some bone meal, some composters. This is all the gardening stuff. You got a hoe to actually garden with and everything like that. But if we go out of this room, we can go around this corner, which is the bottom of the staircase. So I thought I would put in some actual working features, which we got some ender chests, some regular chests, a crafting table, and some looms. So this is all underneath the staircase too, using every bit of space as possible so that we can have this house completely functional as well as stylistic. Over here, we've got another entrance, which in the time-lapse you may have seen. This is the wall in the kind of mossy little garden that we have in the back right here. And in the entrance, as soon as you walk in, you can see you're greeted by this green carpet, which I used green a lot to texture this up because I wanted it to seem very earthy and lively. Over here, using the fireplace from the outside, we actually built an inside as well and used campfires. We have these red leather boots to kind of look like stockings on top of a fireplace, along with a nice cozy couch and some flowers along for the ride. Now, if we go ahead and go up the stairs, what I wanted to do really badly was open this up so you can actually look down on the fireplace from the second story, just because I really like this in cabins and that sort of thing. And I guess this kind of had a cabin feel. So I wanted you to be able to look down and look at the fireplace and just feel warm throughout this entire house. And I wanted it to seem very open as well. So that's why there is a lot of open space, a lot of not too many walls necessarily. Over here, we've got another room with some cake. So if you want to chow down and eat some delicious, I guess, vanilla cake, you are welcome to do that. Over here, I kind of tried to go for a piano-like setup, but using limited blocks, I used some note blocks because obviously these create some music, and I put some of these turtle eggs on top and got some sheet music too, so you can actually read some music as you play. Over here, we've just got another couch with a TV setup right here. We got the antennas on top, which makes it look very, very old, but I like those types of TVs just because they're, I guess you could say, classic. Then we've got a pool table over here, got some chalk on the counter, and using your imagination, you can see how this could all definitely come together and create a definitely cool cabin interior. Now, if we go through this room right here, this is literally just a storage room because I had the extra space and I thought, you know what, why not? If you were building this in survival, you would want some places to actually store some items. With that said though, let's go up this spiral staircase and start showcasing the rest of it. So once we walk up the staircase, we have a doorway over here. Oops. Walking inside, I wanted this to look very cluttered and very attic-y because most attics are this way. And using this light gray carpet, I absolutely love this feature. But if you look, it kind of looks like there's a bunch of dust on top of these items because it's an old place. You know, we got some cobwebs and some dust, and it's a bunch of just spare items. So barrels, furnaces, just the random assortment of items, just that you would need every once in a while. And in this room over here, we've got a shulker box mess because what prep to survival world doesn't have a huge shulker box mess full of a bunch of storage and a bunch of random miscellaneous items. From there though, that is the attic space, which there's so much more details to go over, but not enough time. So if we go over and keep climbing up, now we are actually inside the tower. Over here is just a little entryway to a deck with some fireplaces if you wanted to eat and view over the distance, you know, view the canopy and the, not canopy, what am I saying? The mountains in the background in the desert. No canopy in the desert. Now if we go up here though, this is the very last spot in the very tippy top of the tower. We can climb up here and there is a little station. There is some armor stands, barrels, that sort of stuff. I don't know, this could be kind of a cool watchtower if you really wanted to. You could look out, not this side necessarily, but you can look out the windows and see some trees over there. But there is even one more feature. In the very, very, very tippy top of the tower is an enchanting room because you need that in most survival situations. I've got some maps here just for decorations. You can see that's the house right there with me inside it. And I got a barrel in the roof too, so you can do some lapis lazuli and enchanting some items and stuff. But that is, whew, I'm a little breathed just because, a little winded just because that took a lot to talk, and I talked very, very quickly. With that said though, I think that actually is the whole house. That's a whole interior done. Took a lot longer than it looks. Probably took me many, many hours. I probably spent about, I don't know, probably like 6 or 7 hours on this in all. And it was all in one day too. So I was so burnt out at the very end of it. But I hope you guys enjoy this video. And Jeracraft, if you watch this video, I really hope you like my transformation, my ideas, my interior design, because I think it turned out fun and creative. But again, guys, don't forget to check out Jeracraft's channel and subscribe to him if you're not already, because he releases these super insane videos, way more insane than I could possibly do because I don't have the time. But I really hope you guys did enjoy this video. I think it turned out so cool. Let me know down below if you guys like my transformation or if you like the original more, because the original was neat in its own ways too. But with that said, I don't have much else to say. We've got the video done. I was so excited. This was such a fun one to do. And I'll see you guys in the next video, which is probably going to be a tutorial just because I haven't done those in a while. So yeah, world link down in the description. I'll see you guys in the next video. And as always, ciao.